Okay, so this evening I thought we might take a look at Vatsim. It's the virtual air traffic control simulation that integrates with the flight simulators, the likes of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, X-Plane and Prepar3D. So Vatsim is free to join, and it improves the radio communication in your flight simulation experience by replacing the robotic voices that come from the built-in air traffic control system with real air traffic controllers and real air traffic around you, or virtual air traffic. So, you know, other people flying the simulator around you that are also using the system. Okay, so it's free to join. You can go to vatsim.net on the web and sign up and fill the form in, and give them all your details, and they will direct you to go through. As a pilot, you will go to resources, and then you can download the software and install it and connect it to your simulator. As an air traffic controller, which you can also do for free, there's a full training course that they regularly run to bring people up to speed with becoming air traffic controllers. I believe they use Moodle and obviously Zoom and things like that these days as well. So they run regular training courses. So if you're interested in becoming a controller, you can do that as well. Tonight we're just going to have a look at the experience of a pilot in Vatsim, and we're going to have a listen in. We're not going to fly. We're just going to show you how it works. So I have got a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 running here, and I've got a Cessna 172 on the ground at Wickham EGTB in the UK. So if we go inside the cockpit, the huge difference that Vatsim is going to make to this aeroplane is the radio will work. It won't just be working, with Microsoft, and we won't be handheld by an ATC window that does everything for us. So suddenly we get a bit more immersive in all the switches on this thing are going to work. So the thing we need to run is the vPilot client. That's the client for Prepar3D and Flight Simulator, because they both use the FS Connect standard. Now the client for the simulator, both vPilot and X-Pilot, they kind of do double duty. As well as doing the broadcasting of the voices from you, and for you to hear the voices of other people in the airspace through the radio, it also injects the aircraft into the simulator. So if you are connected to the system, as well as seeing the AI aircraft you might see in the simulator, you will also see the aircraft of other users who are connected to the system. So you can correlate hearing air traffic control saying things, and you may see the nav lights off in the distance of those aircraft actually manoeuvring. Or if you're on the ground, you'll be taxiing around and maybe waiting in a queue at a runway for them. So the first thing you need to do when you install the client is go and put your details in, and you can also set up a push to talk button on your joystick or your keyboard. So that's the button you will hold down while you are broadcasting. Once you've done that, you can connect to the network. So I'm going to connect, and it's going to ask me what my call sign is for this session and the type code of the aircraft I am flying. So we do that, and we get some notifications immediately, any notices from the servers. And we spoiled the surprise there a little bit. We can hear the radio straight away. It's come to life. We are tuned to 119.725. So if we go and look in vPilot, we can see 129.725. I'm just looking down the list.
CV8 118, CV180. 180 knots, CV8 118. CV8 Whiskey Sierra Galaxy Express.
Okay, we're going to take no notice of it. It's that one there, look. It's Gatwick approach. We're going to tune instead to Heathrow.
Whiskey Sierra, go ahead.
EGLL North approach, 119.725. Oh, that's what we've already got. Oh, sorry, we are tuned to 126. So we are already tuned to Gatwick approach, so that's what we're hearing. We're going to tune instead to Heathrow approach, 119.725. You notice it's very crackly? That's because the radio is simulating that these people are a long way away. So the further away you get, it actually simulates the breakdown of the radio signal. So, EGLL North approach 119.725. So all I have to do here, because I've already got it tuned, is switch frequencies. So now I am connected to 119.725, which is Heathrow North approach.
21473, turn left heading 090 degrees, descend flight level 90.
And because Heathrow's that much closer to me, it's much clearer. So to visualize that for you, we're going to go to Volanta. Now Volanta is a wonderful electronic flight logbook application from Orbex. You've just searched for Volanta on Google and you'll find it. It's a free install. One of the tricks it can do though is it gives you a very nice map. At the moment, all I'm seeing on the map is me. If I turn on Vatsim, you will see Vatsim aircraft nearby. That's Heathrow, by the way. That's Gatwick. So the real trick here is this provides a wonderful map of the Vatsim sectors. So if I click on that, I see the sectors being covered by the air traffic controllers. So if I hover over that one, for example, that's North Approach that we're tuned into. If we click on it, we can see who it is. It's a guy called Lenny Colton, broadcasting on 119720. He's only just started his session a few minutes ago. So, the other trick we can do is go into Little Nav Map to make some sense of what's going on, because Little Nav Map, if you remember, when you're connected to a simulator, it also brings in the aircraft that are in the airspace in the simulator. Now remember I said that... Let's wait for everybody to stop talking. Remember I said that the V-Pilot software, or the X-Pilot if you're running X-Plane, X-Pilot software, brings the aircraft that are in the airspace into your simulator. And because it's done that, the simulator is then broadcasting them to Little Nav Map, so I can see them live in the air. So let's go and zoom in a little bit and have a listen.
7 with uniform on board, request clearance to New York. 233 Echo, Heathrow direct, hello, clear to New York, Altiv 1 Kilo, departure, 09 left, squawk 2175. Clear New York, JFK, Altiv 1 Kilo, departure, 09 left, squawk 2175, Stewart 33 Echo. 233 Echo, correct.
What coverage is
carrying down to Mike Alpha, leave Ockham heading 275.
Leave Ockham 275 down to Mike Alpha.
I'm just trying to hear if we can make sense of who's who that he's talking to, or the air traffic control is talking to. So if we watch these labels, I've turned all of the scenery off in Little Nav Map, by the way, so we can see clearly the labels moving around. So we'll just listen in for a little while. Isn't it typical that as soon as we try and listen in, nobody's talking?
Suite 613, speed 160 knots or greater until 4, do you mean? 160 or greater until 4, speed of Concord 613. That sounds really dumb because I just remembered you were Concord, but wind 070 degrees 10 knots, runway 09 left, good land. Clear land 09 left, and yeah, we'd struggle to do less than 160.
So he's going into runway 9 left, Speedbird 613.
1473, speed 220 knots or greater.
Niger, Speedbird 1473, speed of 220 or greater.
So you can get quite a lot out of this by sitting at a quiet airfield like I am, to get used to it and just listen in on the frequencies to hear the phraseology.
Turn right heading 180 degrees.
Right to 180, Speedbird 1473.
So that's BAW. British Airways are always identified by the call sign Speedbird.
Heathrow QNH 1007.
Okay, 1007, descent to 4,000 feet, Speedbird 1473.
So he's coming down to 4,000 feet.
Speedbird 33 Echo 10 547, request push and start, please. 233 Echo 547, push down approved, face the north.
So there you go.
33 Echo.
This is Vatsim. So within the simulator, if we go back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, the radio works. When we're actually in the plane, regardless of looking at maps and things, we can be flying along and listening. If we're just doing a VFR flight away from controlled airspace.
Hey, Director, good evening, FedEx 186, speed 777 in...
Just wait for them to finish.
Information uniform, descend to 220, flight level 200.
Yeah, so if we're just doing a...
Hello, Honley 1 Hotel arrival, descend flight level 200, level by Tobin.
So yeah, if I'm going to go and cut it off so I can get a word in edgeways. If you hang on a second. So we'll go to VPilot and we'll disconnect it. So they've gone. So if you're just flying a VFR flight away from controlled airspace and they don't need to be dealing with you, you can connect to what's called a Unicom frequency, which is one of the things you'll learn about very early on. So it's 122.80. And you would put yourself on the Unicom frequency, and that means you are only talking to local traffic. You're not talking specifically to an air traffic controller. Now, if an air traffic controller was to come online in the area where you're flying, they might communicate with you and send you a message via the system, and you would see that message come into VPilot in the messages window. Yeah, so they might communicate with you directly. Also, if you don't have a microphone, there's no problem about that. You can type messages into here. As long as you've selected a frequency, you can type, and that controller will receive that text message and they will respond by text. They have no problem with operating with people that don't want to use a microphone. But I think the biggest takeaway from Vatsim is it's a very encouraging network. They love newcomers coming online, and they will all help. Everybody involved will help enormously, and they'll explain things along the way. Obviously, they respect you enormously if you've put in some work as well. So it's up to you to really go and read some of the training materials, learn some of the phraseology, and do what I've just done. Sit in an airfield near a busy airspace and listen in and see how people say things and pick up the phraseology, you know, the structure of the sentences when they're communicating with air traffic control. So there you go. That's Vatsim, running, in this case, in Flight Sim 2020 via the VPilot client. It's free. Go dive in. Go and have a play with it. It's great fun. Okay, I'm going to end the video there.